So good morning, everyone. Welcome to this opening plenary session, which brings us together around three essential themes: marine knowledge, innovation, and societal transformation. We are honored to welcome three outstanding keynote speakers whose careers, commitments, and insights reflect the dynamic forces shaping the ocean of tomorrow, a better observed, better understood, and better managed ocean. Please welcome Zoe Konstantinou, Policy Officer at the Directorate General for Maritime Affairs and Fisheries of the European Commission. She is a marine scientist by training and now leads major initiatives such as IMODNet and the EU Digital Twin of the Ocean. She will present the European Commission's vision of the marine knowledge value chain within the framework of the Ocean Pact.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I don't identify as outstanding, but I do represent an outstanding institution that represents an outstanding union, because what the European Union is doing through collaboration is extremely important, and it has been proved in the past, and now in these critical times is going to be proved even more. So I'm here to talk about European marine knowledge, what the European Commission is doing about European marine knowledge, and what is committed to do through the Ocean Pact and continue to do through the Ocean Pact. Because this is a very old discussion that we have been pursuing for at least the last 20 years, but now it's a new era with new challenges and new opportunities. Some of you know, some others probably don't. During the United Nations Ocean Conference last week, the European Union, actually during the One Ocean Congress, the European Commission presented the Ocean Pact, that is a political commitment to bring together all the initiatives or the policy initiatives that are related to the ocean across disciplines, across different categories. And this Ocean Pact tries to bring together legislation for environment, bring together issues that are related with coastal zones, with marine spatial planning, with new technologies, with innovation, with external action and international affairs, with security, and at some point also probably defense, and other aspects of that are related to the ocean, and bring together the policies that are running through different departments of the European Commission and thus also the work of the member states in order to maximize and optimize action. And one of the priorities that is identified through this Ocean Pact, that is a very ambitious document, is the marine knowledge priority. The marine knowledge is connected with research and innovation, and through the Ocean Pact, the European Commission is going to deliver a strategy for marine research and innovation, but there's also a part that is specifically focused on marine knowledge. And marine knowledge is a value chain. It's a value chain that starts with ocean observation, global ocean observation, observation from satellites, but also from in situ. And it goes into data, creation of data, appropriate data management, appropriate data sharing, development of products from data, and thus developing the development of services through data. And these services can be from the simplest possible maps to the most advanced digital twins that are a part of the discussion in this conference. The innovation here is that for the first time in political commitment of the European Commission, ocean observation is actually identified as the foundation of this marine knowledge. Without it, we cannot do anything. Without it, we are blind. We cannot have credible science. We cannot have efficient policy making, and we cannot fulfill our needs for competitive and sustainable blue economy. Of course, this is, although it's a political commitment and the political commitment makes it important, it's not a new pursuit from the point of view of the European Commission. We are already developing action that is related with ocean observation in the European level, and we try to increase the processes that will bring more transparency and more collaboration and more effectiveness in the way that ocean observation is carried Ocean observation is a responsibility of the European Union member states. They pay a lot of money, they invest a lot of resources into observing their waters and their both their territorial waters, but also outside the territorial waters. And we want to help them improve this investment, optimize it, and maximize it as much as possible. So the Ocean Pact took this ambition that we had to coordinate and govern ocean observation and took it a step further. And the reason why I took it a step further was the global challenges that we are currently facing. So the idea is to launch a very ambitious initiative which will connect, scale, govern, and secure European ocean observing capacities, and will actively seek collaborations outside Europe with everybody that is interested to work with us in order to sustain a global ocean observing system that is as much as possible optimized and that is adequate in order to cover our needs in order to address climate necessities, but also our needs for security, for safety, for development, for sustainability, environmental sustainability. This initiative is building in what we already have in the European Commission and in the European Union, and I will speak a little bit more on this in my next slides. So marine knowledge is a very complicated landscape. It starts by ocean observation. There are many responsibles for ocean observation. There are many responsibles in the member states for, and when I say responsible, I mean authorities, but also research institutes, sometimes private organizations. Many observe with different capacities. And for many different reasons. Some of these different reasons have to do with political intention and with policy implementation, like for instance the Marine Strategy Framework Directive or the Water Framework Directive. But then there are more complicated issues as fisheries management, where the data is not as accessible as in other cases. And then the processing of data and the storing of data and the management of data is also not straightforward. There are many different parties that are responsible. And then the data is used for science, is used for business development, it's used for policy implementation. All of these different uses, they require different processing of this data. They require different kind of advice and different kind of interpretation. Then you have, of course, what we currently call the digital twin ocean, which is appears to be currently our end game, and it's a wonderful initiative that aims to bring together comprehensively what we have in our hands regarding marine knowledge. But it doesn't stop to be a very complicated landscape with too many actors that are coming from different disciplines that have different needs, which require to be covered. As I said, one of the aspirations of the Ocean Observation Initiative, as it's described in the Ocean Pact, is to expand European ocean observing capabilities. We have found with pain, not that we didn't know, but the emergencies are created by the situations, that our dependency for the global ocean observing system is something that can create a lot of risk currently. So the Ocean Observation Initiative is more than anything a realization that we require to be autonomous regarding ocean observation, that we require to step up efforts regarding what is observed in the oceans around us and beyond that, and that we also need to be more in collaboration with parties that are like-minded. The global ocean observing system needs to be stable. It cannot be threatened at any moment, because this is going to have impacts that are great for everybody. Now, what do we do through the Ocean Observation Initiative currently. In DG Mare, we are focusing in developing a legal process that will allow the member states to know better what kind of observations are happening. So what kind of observation are happening in their domain, in their remit, and what kind of observations their neighbors are taking. So it is quite obvious that exactly because the landscape is very complicated, there are too many responsible parties in ministries, in research institutes, and even in the same state, it's very difficult to know who observes what, when, how, for what reason, and where do the data end up. Multiple parameters are observed for different purposes through different platforms. These platforms are also sustained by different bodies. We have estimations, but we don't have exact numbers about the investments that is put in these platforms, and all these things are creating a suboptimal system that has gaps, that has overlaps, and that discourages collaboration, and that discourages setting of equipment, and discourages any effort to create mapping of the situation. And of course, in Europe, particularly, we have a lot of shared sea basins, which are observed by different parties, and where collaboration is even more important. And some of these basins are shared between European member states, and let's say through processes and through legal instruments, you have a level of collaboration there. But other basins are shared with good neighbors that are not part of the European Union, and then the collaboration can become more difficult. And the aim of the Ocean Observation Initiative is to work towards this direction as well. Our idea behind the Ocean Observation Initiative is that it's going to create a number of opportunities. First of all, this is going to be sharing of equipment and platforms. But a big part is related with, one, the development of technologies. So the European market currently for ocean observation technology development is not so great, or there is a lot of research and innovation related with ocean observation technologies, but then for some reason this is not entering the market, or it enters a different market. And we would like to change this. Ocean observation technologies need to be developed more in the European Union, and the market needs to be created in order for this ocean observation technologies to be adopted in Europe and elsewhere. We feel that it's going to be supported also if the member states come together in order to be able to procure common equipment. And this has multiple benefits besides the technological innovation that it may steer, and besides the benefits that have to do with cost effectiveness. It allows also for the use of similar equipment in the same basin, that creates also the use of same observational standards and make the data even more interoperable and comparable. Another part of the initiative is to help the member states reduce what they are reporting in different obligations that they have. And hopefully this is going to accelerate also permitting of activities in the blue economy, and it's going to create the availability of more data. Although the Ocean Observation Initiative directly doesn't target data, we do believe that a better coordination in the level of observation will certainly bring in much more data. It's a complicated process, and it's going to be even more complicated now that it has been enlarged in order to increase our efforts towards the global ocean observing system. there are a lot of stakeholders that are taking place, as I said, and we have to remember always that this is a state responsibility. And when policymakers in the state level are involved, things are getting complicated usually. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Part of the reason that the Ocean Pact has supported the priority in ocean observation is a need that has been observed for many years. The observing systems, at least in Europe, probably everywhere, but certainly in the European Union, they are not sustained by stable resources. They are sustained by precarious resources that are coming mainly from research. And this is something that has to structurally change. It has we have to turn the need from something that is viewed only as a research and innovation purpose to something that is for structural policy and development. And ocean observation is important for policy. It's fundamental for policy and development, and it's even more fundamental if we want to go further and have fancy digital applications. Now, the Ocean Observation Initiative is only one part of what the European Commission is doing. For at least 15 years now, we are developing a number of other initiatives and services that are supporting the value chain of marine knowledge. One of them is the European Marine Observation and Data Network, otherwise known as EMOTNET, that makes available data, metadata, and data products for hundreds of parameters across 7 disciplines of knowledge for Europe. EMOTNET is mainly distributing European data. In some cases, it's distributing also global data. And currently, under the current conditions, there is an opportunity to be discussed and considered on because as we know, a number of global databases are being threatened. So there is a discussion on the role that the European Union wants to play, and the European Commission wants to play in safeguarding this data and probably expand what we want to do in Europe regarding in situ data distribution. EMOTNET is the work of an amazing community. It's 120 institutes that are working in the development of EMOTNET and the maintenance and continuation of EMOTNET, and it's more than 600 data providers that are coming across Europe and a little bit beyond in order to make it a reality. EMOTNET is working on standardizing and harmonizing data across Europe and making harmonized data products openly available to everybody under Creative Commons licenses, with no restriction of use, only with notes in some cases. As I said, data regarding bathymetry, physics, chemistry, biology, geology, seabed habitats, and human activities, and probably with an eye to expand in the future under the current circumstances. I would encourage you to visit the EMOTNET Central Portal that has been a labor of at least 3 years to bring together the different disciplines and to see what you can find there and for your work and for your information. EMOTNET is supporting European policy implementation in different levels. I just chose a couple of examples in this case, although they are more than that. One of the things that we have done in the past is that we have supported the member states to harmonize the collection, the observations that they were doing regarding their data collections on marine litter at the coast. We have helped them to harmonize this for the purposes of the Marine Strategy Framework Directive, and now through EMOTNET Chemistry you can find the harmonized European collection that is one of the proudest and more significant data products related to policy. And of course, IMOTNET is also supporting other instruments as the Marine Spatial Planning Directive by bringing in the plans of the member states and making them available in a common manner so that they can be comparable, which is not necessarily a very easy job to do. In the future, IMOTNET is going to work more towards harmonizing data for policies, because besides the fact that there is a very significant work happening for 20 to 15 years on this, there are a lot of inconsistencies still, both in the way that we monitor, but also in the way that the data is managed. Hopefully, new technologies will help us advance even more. Another very crucial service for the marine knowledge value chain, as we see it in the Ocean Pact, is the Copernicus Marine Service. The Copernicus Marine Service is responsible for distributing satellite data related to the ocean, but also forecasting services from observations to numerical models, forecasting services in different scales. The Copernicus Marine Service is a state-of-the-art service, and together with IMOTNET, they are the basis where we are going to build the digital twin ocean. Or we are building the digital twin ocean together with the community. All the data that are coming from Copernicus and all the forecasting services are open access and free access as well. Now, the digital twin ocean as a promise. It was in Brest in 2022 that the President of the Commission announced that we are going towards this initiative, trying to deliver a core infrastructure for a digital twin ocean. A digital twin ocean as a consolidation of marine knowledge, as a place to bring together our data, as a place to bring together the research and innovation outputs that we have in Europe that are multiple, and the lessons that we can learn from the rest of the world. And now, currently with the Ocean Pact, the delivery of this core infrastructure turned from a vision to a promise. By 2030, we aim to deliver an operational service around the digital twin ocean. That is going to be a platform that will provide services of high computing capacities, storage of applications, and availability of high-level applications to answer policy, business, society questions regarding the ocean. The Digital Twin Ocean is a complicated initiative that brings together a whole community of researchers, mainly in the European Union, but hopefully also outside of it. The idea is to create a place for researchers to provide legacy to their work. We have many platforms here and there. We have many initiatives here and there that they bring a lot of value, but they are funded usually through research projects that have a specific timing in life. And after that, some of them are forgotten, some of them are falling apart, some of them are maintained through different efforts, but always with a lot of extra thinking and trouble. And this is something that we would like to, let's say, correct through the European Digital Twin Ocean core infrastructure that is going to be a home for the inflow of data that comes from Copernicus and IMOTNET, but also from other sources that are covering different types of data. And I will put here emphasis to social and economic data as well that are necessary for a digital twin. Applications that are coming from different projects, applications that are coming from research institutes that have been working for years and would like to work interoperably with other players and expand their work, mainly in an effort to create applications that will support scenario analysis and that will support different kind of users to answer the questions that they have for the ocean. in the policy perspective, in a business perspective, in a society perspective, and allowing also researchers and innovators to go a step further and have the capabilities that they require to advance their research even more. There are a lot of challenges for the future, and I'm not going to go into those. I want to say a little bit in which direction we are going to go now with these existing initiatives that we are going to step up through the Ocean Pact. I've said already that we see the Digital Twin Ocean as a consolidator of marine knowledge, but in order to go there, we also need to step up our efforts in oral initiatives. So we want to evolve what we have in our hands in the two existing operational services that are Copernicus Marine and EMOTNET, and take these data and knowledge services to the next level, meaning more parameters, improve resolution, improve further the interoperability of data. EMOTNET is by far not perfect, but is the best result of a common work in marine knowledge in the European Union. It is a far more difficult endeavor than having access to satellite data that have a common source. It's bringing together a lot of work, working on standards in the observation side, standards in the data and metadata side, convincing people that this is the way to work. It's a very challenging work that is, as I said, carried out by a marvelous network of people. And in the next years, we're going to go deeper in evolving the service in what it is truly, a data service for Europe and maybe beyond. We're going to work on integrating these two data services as much as possible in terms of goals, in terms of priorities and operations. That is a goal for 2030. The idea is to have an operational digital twin ocean platform by 2030 as well, being able to provide services, open access services and not so open access services when it's necessary, and work more on research and innovation and the development of sectoral and regional twin applications to cover needs in the local and the regional level, but also needs in different sectors of the blue economy. We are living in difficult and challenging times where research and knowledge is attacked by all sides. And sometimes we also stumble in our own biases and faults in the way that we share, because we don't want to share so much our knowledge, we don't want to share so much our data, we don't want to share so much our research. I agree so much with René in saying that standing together is a very important thing. We have been doing this, and besides the fact that there are many challenges ahead, regarding marine knowledge, the Ocean Pact is an opportunity to step up these union efforts in order to bring more knowledge together, in order to make more data accessible, and in order to fight towards more open research, more open science, more accessibility, so that we use this as the baseline for better times, more sustainable times. I'm very hopeful, and I think that the Ocean Pact is a message of hope for ocean sustainability in the future. And it's a promise, and I hope that from the point of view of the European Commission, we will manage to deliver on this promise. Probably we're not going to deliver everything, but we will try to deliver as much as possible. And we stand with common-minded initiatives and collaborators across the world. Thank you.